Hello, Marcos. Hello, Markit Forum visitors. I'm pleased to introduce my guest from SEB Bank, Māris Modriņš, who has a more than 6-year experience in procurement, not only in SEB, but in other international companies.
Hi.
And Andris Korčagins, head of workplace, who actually grew with SEB for 9 years and probably know each bit and byte.
Hi.
As face masks compulsory in Latvia in all public indoor areas, unfortunately, we have to continue in masks. So, we have 30 minutes to share your bank experience of a diverse approach to procurement. And I have a bunch of questions, and let me start with Māris. And my first question to you is, what is the focus area when managing procurement in a bank, knowing that this is a quite a specific and regulated area?
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the question, and thank you for having us here today.
You're welcome.
Answering your question, I would say I would split it in 3 different things. What are the, let's say, main focus areas for the SEB? First of all, as you mentioned, this is kind of strictly regulated institutions, finance institutions, meaning that we also in procurement are heavily involved in the compliance and risk-based evaluation for our suppliers. That's part, quite a heavy part of our procurement activities day to day. Secondly, more practical thing, of course, is to work with the tenders and mm-hmm. work with the category management and managing spend across mm-hmm. SEB banks in Baltics. And third area of focus, I would say, again, this is coming more and more on the agenda also for the other international and global companies. It is sustainable procurement. Mm-hmm. Where again, it's kind of linked with the compliance and regulation, but on the other hand as well, it's our self-initiative driven processes, how we make sure that our suppliers are transparent, safe, and long-term, has a long-term view.
Mm-hmm. Okay, clear enough for me. And if we focus on SEB, what are the best practices in the SEB procurement process?
Oh, we have probably many similar to other countries and similar to other companies. But I would point out maybe we use in the Baltic and Nordic region quite heavily and popular e-procurement solution, Mercel, mm-hmm. For our procurement and tenders. Then, of course, we work with the spend. Yeah, we try to consolidate spend across all 3 SEB banks in mm-hmm. Baltics, just to again to get more leverage on and purchasing power when we negotiate with suppliers. Thirdly, as well, we need to concentrate, and we continuously do that with the supplier base optimization or building up strong suppliers which can contribute and service us as a bank. And as well, important to mention is that we are very much dependent from purchasing different kind of services and solutions. That means that we are not always driven for the lowest price as well. But for us, is the most important is the quality of the service, service level, and good reputation and transparency of the supplier. So I think this is combination where we kind of making good practices around that, which again help us to deliver good results.
Okay. I have heard that SEB Bank for many years already using separate vendor and partner tendering. So, but when did you start to use it?
Yeah, good question. Actually, this is one as well of the practices what we used to have. And to elaborate a bit more on that, I would say that we practice this cross-Baltic already quite a few years. And in most cases, we use that for particularly IT category and more specific commodities, which has a high demand from the business and business support functions, like to consume them. Yeah. I mean, like computers, for example. Yeah, and yeah, we kind of at one point thought how we can improve actually the pricing for that and that commodities. And I found out that yeah, we have quite a lot of power to combine the volumes, forecasted volumes, and we could probably address those volumes to the vendors directly, not instead of looking straightforward to the partner network. So and with that help, I think this practical benefits what we get from those discussions and tenders from the vendors, we significantly improved our price per unit. Yeah. And then, of course, the other question part is how we get those shipments delivered to us. Yeah? And of course, then partners should step in. Yeah? And one of the, again, things what we do to select the partner is not only recommendations from the vendor side, but also our own sort of market analysis, yeah? Which partners can have the best distribution networks, warehouse networks, availability, service level, and some other added values. Yeah? So that would be the short answer.
Okay, so I have counted at least two advantages: a better price per unit and a better service from chosen partner to deliver these units. Am I right?
That's for sure. I would mention maybe even more that with this kind of approach, we get even more transparent the pricing module, how the total end price is looking. Yeah, so we have a agreed price with vendor. So on top of that, we get some of course interest from the partner side, but that is very clear and everyone is aware of that, and this is the expected outcome of that. Yeah, and also partner knows what has been agreed, so between SEB and vendor, for example, and then those conditions are applicable. So kind of, I think, win-win situation for both.
Great. So I see from my point of view, it looks like close to ideal approach if we talk about transparency. So you know your price for devices you use, and you know how much you pay for service to your partner.
Exactly, but again, this approach works very well because you need to get interest in the vendor. Yeah, so if you have volumes to offer, then you have more leverage as well, and you make yourself attractive to the vendor to speak with. Yeah.
So actually, you have stolen my next question, because my next question was to clarify what are options to use the same approach for other products or services you need in bank.
No, yeah, as I mentioned, of course, the majority of the cases where we can apply and do this setup for the procurements is more in IT, lands under IT category, yeah, and commodities like laptops, like, for example, desktops, mobile devices, headsets, for example, yeah. Those where is quite a big demand, and we need to, together with Andris, to make sure that these items are delivered to the workstations. So apart from that, maybe as well, we can say, yeah, maybe company cars, if we have a certain amount of them, maybe then we can attract some partners, but not much of that in other categories.
Okay.
Software maybe sometimes as well, like license purchases for different solutions, but there is very specific sales networks, how they operate with the partners, and there we more or less face that we should buy from the geographical partner network.
So there are some constraints. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
I got your point. You already mentioned, but could you please tell us in details about sustainability role in SEB procurement?
Yeah, this is a very important angle for SEB, and we heavily, let's say, invest as well our time to establish a good practical procedures around the sustainability evaluation of the suppliers. Some regulation, of course, will come also in future from the European Central Bank or European banking authorities, but we need to be more or less ahead of that journey and be proactive on that side. Yeah, so we tend to use as well EcoVadis, which is internationally, let's say, known company and solution provider for the suppliers' sustainability screening. Of course, we have a very extensive code of conduct which helps us to give a message to the suppliers that if you want to work with us, you need to take into consideration this and that. As well, we have quite a good, I think, basis for tender participant evaluation as well, questionnaires which help us gather information, understand which way in the policies or in the environmental aspects suppliers are thinking, and do they have, say, a good proof for that. So, and if I may as well, let's say so, that as well, Markit was the ones who get EcoVadis this screening score, thanks to the SEB initiative.
It's a pleasure, yeah. Okay, about procurement side, it's clear for me. For our Markit Forum participants, feel free to post your questions in question area in our portal. And now let's talk with Andris about workplaces. And probably my first question regarding start of pandemic. So what were your main priorities when you found that your coworkers have to work from home offices?
Yeah, that was a really tough time. Let's say there was a lot of requests and things what we need to do. But the main thing was to keep business running. And that was the main thing. And but we actually survive. That's why that we had a buffer situation in our warehouse and in our partner warehouse. It means that I already have some equipment what I need to order. And basically, we had a lot of computers, let's say, in our buffer, and there was just a lot of hours what we need to spend to prepare everything. And I would say that was the main key for when we started this pandemic.
Okay, so if I may clarify, was this buffer stock available just for incident, or this is like a regular practice for SEB Bank?
Yeah, it's actually regular standard, if I can say in that way. But it's actually very good practice that if there is some delays, then we have, let's say, spare parts, and we have headsets, we have computers, we have everything in our local buffer, and we can just took them, use it, and when this item is delivered, for example, from factory or from a partner, then we are just putting back in our stock. And
Okay.
I would say this is it's working across the Baltics, and it's very good thing what we have. Yeah. Of course, somebody will tell that this is frozen money, but when this pandemic started, then it was a key for success. That there was a lot of requests, a lot of things what we need to do, as I mentioned already. And this response time was very fast. And then colleagues came to me and said, "But wow, how you did that?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, but we had in our stock, and of course, stock is not unlimited, but yeah, it's how we are managing our equipment and stuff like that." Yeah.
Great. And probably if you ask your, let's say, internal users for your workplace department evaluation for such actions, you should have 10 from 10 for sure.
It's I would say yes, but sometimes there is some delays, but then it's how you are communicating with your customer to say that something is not delivered or will be delivered soon. It's but basically, yeah, I have very high level, let's say, this service inside me. Let's say I want to provide world-class service, and that's actually what we are doing across the Baltics. Yes.
Okay. Next question, a bit from different angles. Could you tell us, please, about your new project to automate your ordering, and specifically how this idea was born?
Yeah, this is inside company. We are telling that we have internal web shop. This idea born in 2018, and I just saw that my team members across the Baltics are actually spending a lot of time to do just regular orders. Before this service was, let's say, introduced for our employees, we just received a ticket, and then somebody from IT just go to Markit portal and do some orders. Yeah? And of course, it takes just a few minutes. But if we are counting few minutes multiplying by, for example, 10, 20, then it's, let's say, 1 hour, 2 hours per day. And if we are counting, let's say, in months, then it's quite many hours. And then I start thinking, but why we can't build this self-service portal that employee can just go to this portal and order equipment what he wants, he or she wants. And there is no, let's say, requirements that you can do this only in working hours. You can do this at night. You can do in every time when you are free. And this flexibility actually it was the thing. And yes, and when we start this, let's say this development side also was not so easy, because for some partners there was a question why, how, please repeat your idea, because not everyone is, let's say, buying this idea, and they can believe that in company there can be internal web shop that you don't need to pay, let's say. If we are choosing some groceries, then I need enter card number and I need pay. But in this case, I'm just getting some approvals from my manager, and basically that's all. And actually, I would say I'm really, really happy that now it's online, it's up and running, and we are saving time. And this is actually the biggest benefit. What we are getting is this time, because now our team members can do actually things what is or jobs what is more important for us. Let's say that now we can grow also faster. Let's say in some areas.
So as I got now, IT is focusing on IT rather than accepting and ordering stuff, from employees. So it's clear time saving for your colleagues from IT department. What's about your internal, let's say, customers? Because when you introduce something new, always it's in human nature to be afraid from new things.
Yeah.
Did you meet any challenges? Implementing this system?
A lot of. But in general, it's the answer is how you are selling this.
Okay.
How you are introducing this. That, for example, if you are saying that we will have something new, and you are popping up that just those benefits, then it's more easily to sell this idea for colleagues. Of course, there was lot of questions, but hey, we just wrote email or fill in some form and that's all. But then I say, but okay, you have link, you are entering there, and now you have possibility to see what you are ordering. Because before that you are ordering some headsets, some accessories, because in this platform we have mainly accessories. Because for computer it's preparation, for monitor it's physical installation is needed, and I'm all the time I'm saying that we are like a clock. Everyone should do things what they are, let's say, specialists in that area. Yeah, that's why those accessories are mainly there, and then there was a blaming, but when we had some conversation, then its feedback was, oh, cool, but it's really good. But of course, at the moment there is some maybe other side of this is as pandemic is running, then there is also some delays from factories as well, and
it's a bit
and nobody can't let's say change that, because if there is issue in factory side, then it is that nobody can go to factory and take equipment, and but we can manage. As I said, buffer is let's say we are in safe because we have this buffer. And it's kind of a good thing, yeah.
Well, it's great. And logically, my next question about future plans of development of this great self-service portal.
At the moment, maybe that's a bit secret. But
I accept it.
Yeah. But what can I share is that the self-service portal for IT was first step in our our let's say self-service area. That's that was first step.
Okay, Māris, interesting. What was your reaction or support of this idea of self-service portal?
No, I would say, of course, this makes life easier for and save time internally. So I'm, as a procurement guy, always count savings. Yeah, so this is kind of
frozen money.
Frozen money on one side, indirect saving on the employees' time spent on that. So we need to kind of move towards the trends. Yeah, so the catalog purchasing is I think more and more popular for the rather smaller items, and for those items which we have contracted through this vendor tendering. So I think, I support this idea, and I think this generates savings for us, because whenever this is purchased through this catalog purchase, we also can see what is for us the benefit out of that. And Markit delivers a good and transparent saving report. So I'm very happy.
Okay. So sounds great. I see we have run out of time, and if you let me summarize, then we discussed and overviewed and understood specifics of your SEB bank approach of tendering separately vendors and partners. As well, we found out what are benefits of using ordering automation approach, and how much time it could save and gain efficiency. Let me check if we have any questions from Markit Forum participants.
A lot of questions, maybe.
Yeah, I see a question to Māris. You talked about separating vendor tendering from the partner evaluation and gaining clear benefits for the bank by doing so. So the question is, are there also some extra challenges through such approach?
Of course, that means that you are more involved in the tendering process. So you need to do in parallel two tenders instead of, let's say, if you do the directly through partners, the tender. So time constraints should be taken into account as well to let's say plan ahead those procurements. And since we have a life cycle of those contracts for a couple of years, that helps us to predict, let's say, when we need to start a new tender for particular commodities. Maybe there is some new technologies coming in. So again, this is time constraint. So more let's say planning and time consumption, we see the challenge there. But the benefit of that we kind of see when we calculate the saving for that estimated contract value. So that is the benefit part of that. So that would be my answer.
Yeah, and from my point of view, yeah, the question is answered as well. Sorry, Andris, one more question to Māris. How many employees do you buy IT hardware for?
We have a couple of thousand employees across Baltic. So, as I said, that brings us a good leverage to attract directly vendors. Okay, and one more, I think, quite specific question to both of you, because probably you both interact with vendors. And the question is, how do you see the challenge on bids in IT terminology, special prices provided by vendor across many countries, vs just buyer when you need it and save time and resources. So as I see, there is like a challenge to get this special prices over borders. Did you experience such or comments?
Yeah, I can answer from my side. Basically, this special price per unit is actually based on volumes. How many you are ordering. And as we are Baltic, let's say, company, then everything is Baltic is the same. It means that if you will visit Latvia, then you will see that equipment in Estonia, and Lithuania, it will be the same. That's why it's easier to manage this, let's say, special price.
To complement what Andris said, I would say that, of course, if we would like to extend that approach for the wider group of countries, let's say to the Nordics and to the Western Europe, of course there would be certain challenges because each and every market vendors as well pricing probably a bit differently. So we have this luxury here on the Baltics to have
For sure.
same conditions. But if you would like to apply that to broader, then I think we would end up to let's say have sort of different pricing levels for that, and that would bring some complexity in that.
And I fully agree with you that in Baltic it's let's say quite easy, but when we go outside Baltics, so then depends from country, it could be a challenge. It's from my personal experience. So I see we have run out of time, so probably we should finish up.
Yep. Thank you for the questions.
Give the torch to the Margus.